Hi Taurus, here is a general look at your solar chart for May 2015, and may I wish you a happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful time. And this month the Sun and Mars, as the month begins, are both in your sign, so it can be quite a dynamic time for you. And then we have other energies in Gemini, which are very connecting sort of energies. They're for gathering information, but they're also for information exchange, finding stuff out, learning stuff, travel as well, but just getting on with others, and just hanging out with the people that you like to hang out with, hopefully, but also becoming informed. This is the key to Mercury in Gemini. It's the information giver, it's the message bearer. So until the 21st, it's pretty powerful for you with the Sun in your sign. It's a good time for taking stock and reviewing the dance of life over the last year, and in general, getting on with things that you know you want to be doing for yourself, and somehow or other the way should be opening for that. At the beginning of the month, we have a Mercury going over Saturn just for the first week, which could slow down communications or cause travel glitches, or mean that you just got more on your mind, more on the to-do list, more schedules, that kind of thing. And also Mercury does go retrograde from the 19th, so that also is a slowing time for communications, and there could be delays, there could be, you know, just you taking more time to work through the practical details, and it would be a good idea to put in place a backup plan as well. Conversations do tend to have a practical slant this month with Mercury in that part of your chart, and discussions may revolve around material matters, the budget, the piggy bank, but also anything to do with work or anything to do with sort of possessions, resources, property and the like. Your ruling planet Venus until the 8th is in an area concerning money. In fact, both of them are together, they're concerning money, so that will tend to ease things, you know, there up until the 8th. And Venus has been there since around about mid-April, so it could be there right now when you're listening to this, if you're listening to it in April. And it means that you can be more articulate, more persuasive regarding buying, selling, renting, leasing, anything like that. But also, if you are, you know, wanting to benefit from what you have already and enjoying what you have already, maybe you're doing a garden. Maybe you are gardening in another kind of way and cultivating in another kind of a way, but this would be a good time to do it. Or you and someone could be really enjoying the fruits of your labors, or the fruits of the earth, or just what you both got going together at the moment. It could be like that. And Venus moves out of there on the 8th, as I say, and then goes into a very chatty, sociable sector, more mobile sector of your solar chart, and she can help you to be articulate in your expression. Others tend to like to hear what you've got to say, and also you tend to get into environments where there's more maybe entertainment, or maybe there are daily encounters which tend to be more pleasant with Venus there, or correspondence which tends to be more enjoyable and maybe warm and friendly. You can do very well with anything to do with your own creative self-expression as well, or just your own self-expression. And if you want to settle a feud, if you want to bury the hatchet, then this would be a good time to do it from the 8th onwards with Venus there. And I said that Mars was also in the same area as the Sun. Indeed, Mars is in your sign and has been since more or less the beginning of April. And this is a time for you to take decisions, to get active, to get organized, to just keep up with an evolving, sort of more demanding maybe situation at times. Mars is about proactive activity, and you could get plunged into situations which demand assertiveness, decisiveness, and you feeling more like that as well now, because the previous time, which would have been in March for you, maybe you could have felt that your hands were tied, that something was holding you back, maybe something mysteriously was holding you back. It can be a bit like that, but your energy would have taken a dive. Then from the beginning of April and on through till the 12th of May, you do have this boost in vitality with Mars there. But whatever you're doing, do try and get a good balance and take enough downtime as well. And then Mars comes out of there on the 12th and goes into the same area that Mercury is in for the whole of the month, firing up that area, really putting a sort of rocket launch into that area there, demanding that you get busy with in a practical way, to do with basic stuff, to do with maybe going back to the garden again, but it could be other things as well, and figuring out how to apply your energies in the most fruitful sort of way, productive kind of way, to improve things on the material level, property, possessions of various kind, resources, enjoying the fruits of the earth, like I said earlier, but also to do with the piggy bank as well, and you being in demand there, or you putting out the energy and reaching out for how you can improve things in that area, put food on the table, and that kind of thing, that we all are engaged in this lifetime. And another thing about that is that you can be more aware and concerned to do with the diet and exercise and your own physicality. And then the sun will move on the 21st into this same area that Mars has already gone into on the 12th, and key things will be centered around stuff, basic stuff. Now the longer transits, and I just have to mention that I did say before that Mercury goes over Saturn, Mars goes over Saturn at the beginning of the third week for the first 3-4 days, which could fleetingly slow you down and put more pressure maybe on you. The Sun goes over Saturn in the first half of the last week, which maybe is a bit challenging there for whatever the reason, but all of these transits are very, very brief. And then really the major one is still the Jupiter-Uranus one. It's a stunningly wonderful, scintillating, sparkling, shiny, gleaming aspect, which has got a little bit of fairy dust with it. And even though they're slightly further apart in May, they were pretty close together in March for a time, they will be coming back together again in June. So what you're doing with it now, if you get onto that sort of, into this slipstream of these two, they are still really, really sizzly, bouncing off each other, and they are full of promise, they are full of potential for progress and for reaching out into new areas and for really getting on a new track in some sort of way altogether. So as they, they're a little bit further apart, so that just tones them down, just mutes them down a little bit over May, but they're still working and they're still pulsing. So getting back into that stream, if you were in it and then kind of and then slipped away from it, but just getting back into that sort of, maybe that higher frequency level there of Jupiter and Uranus, which has got this sort of magical quality with it, will be a good thing. And then it becomes more noticeable, and maybe you start seeing them bear fruit more in June in your personal chart. And we've got Saturn, of course, and Jupiter to mention. So Saturn is coming back towards your opposite sign. Will be there in June. It's not there yet in May, but where it is, it's in this area to do with out with the old and in with the new, basically. I mean, it's the energy of the snake which sheds its old skin and then starts off fresh and new in its beautiful, bright new colors. And this is a gradual, very gradual gear change. Saturn will be in there till 2017, so you can go at your own speed, you can pace yourself, but there will be certain old frames to let go of, you know, and put the pictures in new frames, or old scenarios to let go of, and within yourself, old expectations, old mindset, old habits, you know, any of that, and this is a real decluttering transit, which is gradual and slow, but at the same time as this happening, it's a regeneration house. So, you know, to the measure that you're letting go, you're making the space to start to grow the new green shoots. You know, so it's kind of balancing out off that way. The more you're, and not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, of course, but just letting go of what begins to feel like it's a heavier and heavier and heavier on you, and more redundant. It's kind of, it's sort of dead, really. Because you are a fixed sign and you don't like to have to let go. You will learn through this huge lessons. The mutable signs are, you know, more casual about just sort of, oh, well, we'll go and try something new now. But you as a fixed sign, you don't give up easily. And that's the wonderful thing about you, because you are the great consolidator who will push everything through to the absolute bitter end. But you don't want it to be a bitter end. You want it to be a happy end, you know. So you might be learning quite a lot from this, and some of you will be feeling that you are lacking a previous relationship. You're lacking the setup that previous relationship gave you, or you are looking, you know, for a better arrangement, because this old arrangement or this old contract just needs to be sort of ripped up and thrown away, or maybe just a part of it rewritten, or whatever it is. And you Taurians born the 20th to the 24th of April, or with 0 to 4 degrees, it's very, very early Taurus now, because Saturn is going backwards into Scorpio, and that will be your opposite sign in some of June, for a little while before Saturn goes back into this area until 2017, and that will be from September, but that we haven't got there yet, so let's not leap ahead too much. You Taurians, anyway, you very early Taurians, will be feeling the energy most this forecast period. And then of course we've got Jupiter, who is still in this rather wide, but still, you know, it is still, they are still connected together. Jupiter is in your home area, and expanding your home area, or the people you know in your home area, or indeed allowing you to change your place on the map, your location, or to get access to somewhere which is very, very different to what you're used to, and even, you know, abroad in some way, or with people who are very different to what you're used to, and you feeling more inwardly balanced because of this slowly. And this planet will stay here until August. But also some of you could be adding you know, an extension in some way, or juggling the space so that you feel as though you've got more space, there isn't so much clutter around, you can breathe, you know. And this would be a great time to do some feng shui,